With allergies becoming increasingly common amongst children, understanding the causes, symptoms and the management of these conditions is more important than ever. And we've got pediatrician and allergologist Professor Claudia Gray, who is here to help us navigate the complexities of childhood allergies. Welcome to the show, Prof.
Thank you very much.
So lovely to have you here, and you match so beautifully with our set.
I do, don't I?
Prof, I'd love to know from you, can you please unpack what allergies are?
So allergies are actually a response by your immune system to something that should be harmless. For example, a peanut or an egg or grass pollen or house dust mite. We should live in harmony with all of those things, but in some people, your immune system makes the wrong decision and sees them as an enemy. So they produce a whole bunch of chemicals to try and fight the allergen. And those chemicals then cause our allergic reactions.
Yes. Why does that happen though? And are people born with that, that symptom that you speak of where you've got to fight the allergens, or is it something that we develop over time?
I think every medical student shudders to get that question.
Oh, really? Okay.
And most things in medicine are multifactorial.
Exactly, and we're finding out more and more.
Yeah, we're finding out more and more, and it's multiple factors acting together. So no, children generally aren't born with an allergy. You get the odd kid who's already born with a cow's milk protein allergy very early on. But mostly they develop over time. There's a strong genetic component.
Okay.
So if your first-degree relatives, your mother, your father, your siblings have an allergy, it already puts you in a high-risk category. If 2 first-degree relatives have an allergy, including your mum, you've got about an 80% chance of developing some form of allergy. But then there are also epigenetic factors. You may have heard of those above the level of the gene. So environmental factors that can change the expression of your gene. This might be the timing of introduction of a solid or exposure to an allergen. It might have to do whether you're unwell at the time of being exposed to an allergen. It might be environmental, like pollution, at the same time as being exposed to an allergen. Also, we mustn't forget that one allergy begets another allergy. So, for example, if you've got eczema, it puts you at major risk of having other allergies, such as food allergies or environmental allergies, because your skin, which is brittle and open, is a portal for allergens to get into your body.
Interesting.
So really multiple factors.
Yes. Also in terms of, allergies in children, how are they do they sit on a spectrum? And what are the usual ones that kids have a tendency to get when they're young?
Yeah, so they absolutely sit on a spectrum, and it depends on which kind of allergy you're talking about. So if we're talking about food allergies, for example, universally. So around the world, there are 6 common allergens that are responsible for up to 90% of the nonsense with allergies. And those are cow's milk, egg, soya, wheat, the nut group, including peanut, which is actually a legume, and then the seafood. So all over the world, those are common. And then there are nuances in every country. In Israel, there's sesame seed. For example, in France, there's the mustard seed. If we talk about environmental allergies, so things that we're breathing in from the environment, we have our all-year-round indoor allergens like house dust mite and mold and animal dander, cat and dog dander, which are very common. And as a child grows older and the environment moves more outside, you get the pollen allergies. Right now, we're sitting in the tree pollen allergy season. Very soon, when the weather makes up its mind, we're going to have grass pollen allergies and then weed pollen allergies. So environmental allergies are sort of clustered into those continuous versus seasonal.
That's fascinating. In terms of being a parent, when does one know that it is time to not just say, oh, it's the change of the season, and to actually take serious care that, that you need to go to a health practitioner?
Okay, so you're talking more environmental allergies now in that scenario. So the point is that allergies can look very similar to infections, especially in little kids. You've got children, you know that in their first few years of creche or nursery school, they get 10 or even 12 colds a year. So they literally merge from one infection into the next, making many parents think this must be an allergy, but actually it's just viral infections. Allergies, on the other hand, can present similarly with itching, sneezing, congestion, almost like a cold. So how do you tell them apart? Well, testing is the best and most sensitive. So having your skin prick test or your allergy test, because allergies can be treated very, very effectively and very differently to colds. Also, some symptoms might give us clues. So a common cold, you often feel really lousy. You might have a low-grade temperature, very sore throat, the kid's lethargic. It might be running through the family and really going viral. And often your mucus or your snot changes from clear to cloudy to coloured. So colourful yellow, green mucus, whereas in an allergy, it stays consistently clear. So there are some nuances.
I think that's a great point
whereas,
for parents.
Whereas colds, you will eventually get better after 2 or 3 weeks. So colds take a long time.
Can you grow out of it?
So talking about food allergies, there's certain food allergies that are characteristically outgrown in 80% plus of people. Cow's milk, egg, wheat and soya. Usually, not in everyone, but in most kids, they're outgrown by late childhood. So it's got a very good prognosis long term. Whereas your seafood allergies and your nut and your peanut allergies are only outgrown in 20, maximum 30% of people. So they normally persist into adulthood. If you talk about respiratory allergies, allergic rhinitis, asthma, some of them are outgrown. Asthma is fairly frequently outgrown in teenagers and above. Yet, some people only get their allergies in adolescence or adulthood. Even some food allergies, seafood. You've heard of people suddenly developing a shellfish allergy or a preservative allergy or even a nut allergy in later, early adulthood or later adulthood, or if there are major shifts such as perimenopause. So allergies can appear or disappear at early age.
Thank you so much for that, Prof. That was so insightful. I look forward to talking to you about the psychological impact of allergies on children.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So there you go. We've learned so much today about being proactive and how information can make all the difference in ensuring that our little ones stay safe and healthy.